Hello my lapidary and pottery friends. Today I've got a really fun project planned. I'm going to be working on this here Luna Agate. My good friend Joan just made a recent trip to Luna, New Mexico where she was hoping to find some really cool agate there. So I wound up cutting a bunch of rocks open for her and these aren't the rocks you're looking for. Unfortunately, they were a little bit on the plain side. But I've got this one here and it's got a little bit of banding to it. So I think this is going to be an exciting project. So let's get started on it. I've got here my safety goggles I'm going to be using. I highly recommend using some gloves as well. I don't have any right now because I'm going to be operating the camera. It's a little challenging to operate the camera with some gloves on, but that'll definitely save your hands, especially your fingernails. And with any kind of rock polishing, I definitely recommend doing it either outdoors in a well-ventilated area so you don't be breathing any of that rock dust. We're going to be running a lot of water, which is going to prevent it from getting dusty, but that dust can still get airborne anywhere. You definitely don't want to be breathing it in. So let's get this started. We got a reservoir completely filled with water right now, and we're ready to turn this thing on. All right, this looks like the side I'm going to use to polish. I'm probably actually going to do both sides. This is a small rock, should be pretty quick. I usually like to take this black marker and just really go to town with it. And we'll just scribble on the back side here. There we go. Beautiful. And the reason I do this is as I'm braiding this away, that black's going to get removed. And if there's any dips or valleys in there, well, that black is not going to be removed, so I will know that it's not a completely flat surface. And once all the black's gone, I should have a completely flat surface on that. Let's get our water flow coming out. Oh, are you going to be... Oh, look at that. Usually this guy is pretty stubborn. A little bit going crazy, my friend. There you are. All right, we don't want anything too wild coming out. Yeah, that looks really good. This thing's behaving today, wow. So we're gonna start here with this side first. Gonna get this all smoothed out. Keep it moving around. You don't need to apply too much pressure on this. The diamonds will braid this. They'll handle all that on their own. So you don't need to get too aggressive. I've got this set to about maybe 3, the speed. You don't need that to be too crazy either. It'll make short work of it. I'm using 80 grit diamond disc right here. So let's get started. And this step's always the loudest. Just a few passes and we've already braided that much off. This is a soft agate. Looks pretty good. Should we turn this water off? I always have a bad habit of forgetting to turn that water off. So we're swapping out now with my 180 grit diamond disc here. And for this step, we're going to want to just take our time. The longer you spend here, the less work you got to do when it comes to the final polishing. I'm going to make sure I get all these little pits and grooves out. It's a really good stage to just really take your time and enjoy the hobby. And just keep it moving around. And just take your time. Really light pressure, hardly anything at all. looking really good. Nice and flat, beautiful. I think I'm going to skip the brown disc and just move straight onto the red one. This is looking pretty good. We're ready to move on here to this red disc and gets us one step closer to getting the final polish. And for these fabric pads, I usually like to let them soak in pretty good, so I'll let it run for a little bit. Get it nice and soaked in. Speed, oh yeah, I always seem to use number 3. Definitely speed 3. Yeah, there we go. We're ready. Just remember to keep it moving around. Real light pressure. That looks really good. And we'll get our nice felt pad here for the final polishing, aluminum oxide here, and hopefully not knock out our camera in the process. I'll set the water over here. Beautiful. Just set my rock right there. And you can see we haven't even polished yet, but it is already got a nice gloss looking effect to it. It's kind of a pretty rock, I think. All right, and for this final step, I like to use a squirt bottle, some distilled water in here, and just get this felt pad just a little bit wet here. I've already got it laced with aluminum oxide. Haven't had to reload it in quite a while, but there's definitely still some on there, and it'll serve its purpose pretty well. Then I'll take the rock that I'm using, just kind of rub that into the pad. Don't want it to be too wet, but I want it to be wet enough where it just kind of glides right over the felt. And it'll get it nice and smooth in no time. And just let it glide. As it starts to stick to the pad, that just means it's drying out the felt. And then your polish on that side should be done. Really light, just kind of let it smooth sailing across here. I can feel it start to stick here. And you can also hear the machine starting to work a little extra. So it should be done. Oh man, that side is good. Let's make sure we get the other side done though. So again, I'm going to add some distilled water to it. Just gently have it glide across. Well, this turned out pretty beautiful, I think. It may not be the bluest of Luna Agates, but I still think this is one happy little rock with a really nice shine. Yeah, he can go straight on my shelf right now. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of this crazy thing? I'm really trying to make these rock polishing videos a little bit quicker. Definitely aiming for under 10 minutes. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you did, please be sure to consider hitting that subscribe button and helping this channel grow. And thanks guys for all the wonderful feedback and support you've been giving me. All right, my friends, till next time.